All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observation, and entertainment. I ask that you comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Um, we had our African American president. She could tell me every negative thing about him and give me every positive thing about Donald Trump. And I'm like this, I'm not going to fuss with you about religion. I'm not going to fuss with you about politics. But what you won't do is disrespect me by putting something on my page. I love her to death. God knows I do. I can go to her home and she'll have the flags up. And social media diva, which is her niece, she was a little offended. So she took one of the flags and she destroyed it. And I didn't know she had done it because I believe you don't bother people personal items in their home because that's her home. But we have not fallen completely out because blood is thicker than water. However, I can say that there is tension um, in the bloodline. She'll call me when it's just absolutely necessary, and I'll call her when it's absolutely necessary. But I I
Hmm.
always I always say that because she's the baby, she feels that she's going to be right. So I let her go ahead and feel the way she want to feel because it doesn't bother me any. I love her and that's it. But as far as the way we were close, we're not close any longer like that, but we still communicate, if that helped any.
Oh
And
no,
it was
no.
about Donald Trump.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. But one thing I realized over the years is, and this is just my opinion and my view of things, is that just because you love somebody, and we got three different types of love,
Mhm.
that doesn't mean you actually like them or like the way they act.
I don't like the way she acts. And I'm like this. I feel like if I put forth an effort, like I have a person that I talk to every day, that it could be raining, it could be sunshiny. I know I'm going to talk to this person every day. If God spares my life and spares his life, he's going to check on me. I'm going to check on him. However, when it comes down to my baby sister, she'll call sporadically. And I felt like I was doing all the calling. I was trying to stay in the loop. And even social media, mommy, call auntie, da da da. And I felt like, well, hey, I'm doing all the calling. It works both ways. She can pick up the phone and call me just as well as I call her. So, and when I feel like I need to call and say something, I will. And if I feel like I don't have to, as they would say, I see you when I see you. And that's just the way I have learned because I don't allow people to just treat me any kind of way or say anything to me because, I can make you null and void the same way you make me null and void. So that's it.
That's deep, and that happens a lot in families, and it gets to, well, you didn't call me, well, you didn't call me, well, you didn't call me.
Exactly, because the phone works both ways.
Right, right. And that's it's kind of sad because it happens a lot with some people don't call, some family members don't call, some friends don't call unless they bring in bad news, and they trying to, they want to make sure that you hear it. When something's going good, if you say everything's good, they don't want to talk to you. But when something's up, they want to they want to get all the tea. That's a part of dealing with people's personality. Miss Kim, do you have a situation where you fell out with somebody, and did you fix it?
Not necessarily fall out with them, but a lot of my good friends back home in Georgia, I don't know what's the issue is, but It always was left up to me to call to check on them. No one ever calls to check on me. And so it's just been, I guess we're just growing apart, maybe. We've been childhood friends ever since we were like 7 years old. And now that I'm now in Virginia, I don't get the phone calls or anything like that or the invite. So, um, yeah. So the last time I talked to my best friend is the only reason why I talked to her. My sister had to call me to let me know something had happened to her husband. She didn't even bother to call me. She called my sister. And, it kind of bothered me, but, I still reached out to check on them. And we talked for a while. She was like, I'll call you when I get home. And I haven't heard from her to this day. So, you know, I just made the decision. I'm not going to always be the first one to pick up the phone and call. So
And
it's
that
better.
makes sense.
I'm tired of being the one that always reaching out to other people. Like even when I lived in Augusta, people would come to Augusta and I wouldn't find out till after the fact, and so, it is what it is. I don't even worry about it anymore. Life goes on.
Yeah, life does. I agree with that. And I think some people are, and sometimes that happens because life happens. But you're right. If it's all one way, that ain't right. That ain't right. But then some people expect you to be the one to do it. They got expectations, and you're on top of that. That you're the one that's gotta do it, or else it ain't gonna get done. And that's kind of like a martyr role. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And I've been doing it for many, many years, but I'm at the place in my life now. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Sometimes, as they say, sometimes you need to check on your strong friends because sometimes they going through something as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things that we don't always do. We don't always check on the one. We don't always check on the rock. And sometimes the rock has a little crack and it winds up breaking up over the time frame. And um, you know, you just it just doesn't work. And then you wonder, one day you wake up and nobody's sitting around. Miss Nikki on YouTube saying that she can love a family from member from afar, handle it with a long spoon. And I think we all have relatives or friends that we do that we cool with, but not really like you wasn't as close as you used to be. And sometimes that is distance. Sometimes distance doesn't make the heart grow fonder. It's like out of sight, out of mind. And sometimes, it's just like a romantic relationship. Sometimes one person's doing all the pulling and the other person's just tagging along. Go ahead, Dr. Fab, your hands up.
I wanted to know, um, it may be a little petty. I remember you came to my 60th birthday party, big shebang, shebang. And I have a cousin, he's getting ready to turn 70. So he didn't come to my 60th birthday, but he's down my neck wanting me to RSVP, saying that I'm going to come to his event. And it's on a Friday. Like mine was on a Saturday, made it convenient, but his is on a Friday. And I'm just really contemplating, should I make the effort to work a half day, take a day off to go to his birthday celebration? And I'm just up in the air about it. I want to know what you think. He
So,
didn't come to mind. Should I?
so let me ask some clarifying questions.
Okay.
One, were y'all close growing up?
He's on my dad's side. So on my dad's side of the family, it's really only a couple of people that I associate. He's one of the ones that I associate with. And my thing is, you didn't have to come to the party. You still could have sent the gift. That's the way I look at it. Because he's turning 70, automatically my mind is said, okay, I'm gonna send him $70. even if I don't attend. But he didn't come, nor did he send a card, an empty card, or nothing. So it was like no acknowledgement. And so my cousin, who I talk to all the time, he says, I'm not taking off to go to this event. I wouldn't even go